Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me?
Yep,
Yes.
that was fine.
Awesome. So let's start. First of all, I'm Ismail. I'm part of the product and research team in Comdex. I'd like to welcome everyone to the closing ceremony of the Comdex Hackathon. Thank you so much for joining in today. It's an exciting occasion for us to be able to conclude the first ever Comdex Hackathon and to present you guys with the winning submissions. But before that, I'd like to express a massive thank you to everyone who participated in the hackathon as well. We are like really excited to collaborate with new builders and anyone who wants to build exciting products on the Convex ecosystem. Mm, it is really exciting to see all the teams and all the cool stuff they've built. But there's a certain criteria from which we've chosen the winners. So the winners we have chosen have been according to the tracks what we felt were along the criteria, and which add long term value to the Convex chain. So primarily there were four tracks from which the winners have been chosen. The first one being the DeFi, CMST, and NFT fi use cases, where we have awarded prizes to winners who leverage Comdex's DeFi modules and build application. The second track being the gaming track, where we awarded winners for people who build GameFi applications on the chain. Third track being the DAO and tooling, where developers can add value to the infrastructure on the Comdex chain and build products like DAOs, oracles, and wallets. The last category, which quite exceptionally had the best products, is a miscellaneous category, which where a separate prize was reserved for uh, projects fall which do not fall into the any of the three categories mentioned above. Now, moving on, we had workshops conducted on Golang, Cosmosm, Cosmos SDK, and how to build, simply build dApps using Comdex's DeFi modules. uh, that is like available on YouTube for everyone to check out, and the material is free, where users can just go and follow the instruction to build their own applications on the Comdex chain. Now, a total of 73 builds had been submitted for the hackathon, and out of which, I'd like to present three winners and the prizes for what they've built. And, we can follow up with quick demos from the teams and see the cool things they've built. So, first prize goes to Vice Wallet, which is an account abstraction wallet which is built on the Comdex chain. It is awarded in the infrastructure and DAO tooling category. So, congratulations, guys. Second team would be Hodla, which I've had a really good experience speaking to Daniel and team, and they provide a pretty cool user experience for staking, and also a better experience just for the overall validator ecosystem, which I don't think anyone in the Cosmos ecosystem is doing right now. So props to you guys. Third one being C Domains, which is another cool project being built on Comdex chain. It provides domain name services, and it crafts unique requirements for Comdex users and offers a secure way to handle domain assets. So now that I've announced the winners, we can get right into the demos and see what the teams have built. Firstly, I'd like to introduce the Vice Wallet team. Guys, you guys can, the floor is yours for the demo.
Thanks, Ismail. Thanks for the first prize. Let's start jump into the presentation. Just a sec. So, hi everyone. We have made Wise Wallet, which is much more than a simple account abstraction project on Comdex. We are a team of three with experience from companies like Polygon, Certic, and Tendermint. As we know, new users find it very difficult to interact with DeFi due to wallet custody, lack of knowledge of protocols, where to swap, how to swap, etc. They also don't have much knowledge how to place non-custodial limit orders and have no protection against depegs, price falls, etc. So we aim to try fix this, and we have come with a solution. Via account abstraction, user doesn't have to self-custody by using options like Google sign-in. This way, complicated user journeys like multiple transactions can be grouped together to just one simple signature. We also have a GPT solver to comprehend such that a user can enter plain simple English text related to a swap. It will be comprehended by the GPT solver, and then based on that, it will suggest a transaction object, which if signed by the user, will go for the transaction. We also have passkeys, which is a unique feature. It helps to us to manage wallets via our Face ID, our Apple ID, etc., or even such as biometric data. So this helps us to implement wallet custody via just passkeys option. Going to the architecture, we a user will come to our dApp or our wallet and enter a plain simple English such that if price falls below 95 cents and swap all of it to CMDX. Price of USDC falls below 95 cents, swap all of it to Comdex. So this goes to the GPT intent solver, which tries to comprehend what the user is trying to say. And when done, it suggests the user with a transaction object, which if the user agrees, goes to the bundler mempool. And if the bundler, in the bundler, there are many bundlers constantly monitoring the price of USDC or the asset that which a user has chosen to. And as soon as the price trigger hits, the transaction is sent to on-chain. They will do this since they get a certain commission out of it. So at smart contract level, there is an entry point and smart account that check whether the basic signature checks are done or not. And this goes to the limit module. Also, to point out that this smart account, so smart contract wallet can be handled independently. And this limit module feature is just kind of a plugin that we have built on top of the smart contract wallet. So regarding the limit module, first checks if the price of USDC has truly fallen or not. And if yes, it has fallen, then it checks via Oracle first if from off-chain data, what is the real price of USDC and now. And if it is fallen, then it is the transaction is sent to the DEX. So this is how the our entire model works with respect to the limit module, which is the main feature. And also I will be demonstrating passkeys and other features in the demo. Our revenue model arises from the bundlers, where more transactions means more gas fees. We also have limit module. So a user will have to pay certain fees for conducting a limit transaction since they are a non-custodial limit orders. Also, we have a best code solver. Like if someone suggests a better price than then a bundler can take a commission out of it and give just the remaining portion to the user, which is something related to an MEV sort. And we will be building more modules such that allow users to pay gas fees in any CW20 token. And also, we are also building a module marketplace such that any developer on top of Cosmosm can build his own module and take the leverage of liquidity of the smart contract wallets that we have built. Also, so let us straight dive into. So this is our homepage. A user will have to connect his wallet and he can use Google sign-in. So yeah, here he can straightly use Google sign-in for it, and yes, he can connect it. Now for this, let us use, or he can also use a Kepler wallet for sign-in, and here he will have option to create his passkeys via Apple ID. So here he can just use his biometric data to create his passkeys account, and here he can sign the signature via his passkey. Also, now this is a transaction limit to the limit order. Let us say if he enters swap my 10 Comdex to CMST when Comdex price falls below $1. So this text will be go to the GPT solver, which tries to comprehend it and returns with a transaction object. If it's signed by the user, then it goes to on-chain after the price oracle checks. So also we have this social recovery feature also, which is key important part of wallet custody. Like if you can appoint some guardians on top of it, like if I can, if I fear of losing my wallet something, then I can appoint two of my relatives or friends and families to as a guardian, and if they both sign the transaction for appointing a new owner, then it will the owner of my wallet can be changed in future. So this helps in some sort of missing of lost accounts, etc., and helps in self custody also. So this is just a demo how a guardian can change the wallet by signing a transaction for the user. And yeah, also in just like we will see, so here the transaction owner has been changed, and this is the docs that we have built that any other developer can refer to build his own module on top of us. So yeah, that's it. Any questions, please?
Thank you so much, Arpit. Really looking forward to seeing this and trying this on chain. Guys, if you have any questions, like you can shoot it right away. Awesome. I assume there aren't any, so we can move ahead to the next winners, which is Hodla. I'd like to invite Daniel. Daniel, go ahead.
Yep. Hi guys. My name is Daniel, and this is Kirill here. We're both co-founded Hodla. So what we're doing is we're helping validators get retail delegations. And the problem that we see right now is that so this is our biddle. The problem that we see right now on the market is that if you're a validator and you're trying to get retail delegations, right, from not from institutions but from ordinary people, then your marketing relies on wallets, right, and user attribution relies on wallets. And the problem, so for example, Kepler or Cosmos Station or any other wallet that supports Comdex. The problem here is that when these wallets do not have a mechanism for user attribution. So when the validator is sending his user to a wallet, he's just kind of praying that the user will convert, right? So there's no guarantee that he will actually get the delegation. And the bigger problem is that many wallets, for example, Custom Station, they have their own validator, which is set by default. So for validators, it's very bad in terms of that their marketing relies on their competitors. And we're solving this feature by kind of unifying the staking experience on the front end level by integrating the Comdex chain and integrating all the wallets that Comdex chain supports and giving validators a channel for guaranteed user attribution. So we're already live actually on the 15 different networks that are Solana and some other 15 Cosmos chains. And in terms of the hackathon, we were integrating Comdex and also providing the liquidity feature that I'll show you briefly. So this is how HODL looks for, this is the chain that we have submitted. So this is a special branch that we host in Versa Lab that we submitted as part of the hackathon. And this is what one of our partner validators got. So for example, Posthuman, they're quite big in the ecosystem. Maybe you've heard of them. So what they got is think of it as a Linktree page or a Shopify page that they can share with their users. And we as users, we land on this page and we see some meta information about Posthuman, their socials, blah, 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 and then all the chains that they validate and that Hodness supports. And as part of the hackathon, we before the hackathon, we already had Solana, Cosmos, and Akash and Archer. And in terms of the hackathon, we've integrated Osmosis and Comdex. So for example, we landed on this page and we want to delegate Comdex to them. So I click on the Comdex chain. Now all I gotta do is just connect my wallet. Right now I've connected my Kepler wallet that is here, right, on Comdex chain. And Hodla fetched the balance that I have of Comdex that I have in this wallet. And as you can see, I have around 300 Comdex here. But for example, a user wants to add more tokens. He wants to make a bigger stake to your chain. And right now, the user without Hodla, he would have to do the IBC transfer using as well as DAG and swap using as well as DAGs, and do all this hassle by himself. But now Hodla helps him move his liquidity with ease. So, and again, this is all production ready, and this is all main nets. And right now, I'm gonna be actually transferring my real atoms to Comdex. So again, like for example, I want to add more liquidity here. So I press this button to add more tokens. Then in this specific case, I want to transfer, swap, and stake, right? So I click on this button, and then I gotta just choose the destination chain, which is gonna be Comdex. So I have a list of all the wallets I connected. So just have to choose my Comdex wallet, and then I have to choose from what chains I want to move my liquidity. Right now, let's move liquidity from Osmosis chain and from Atom chain. So I've selected these, and now, oh, sure. Sorry, let me refresh the page. Um, I've chose Comdex. I'm choosing Osmosis and Atom, and it doesn't work. Okay, let me just. Yeah, I have to reopen because sometimes the RPC, we have to reopen the RPC's connections. So again, I just Comdex, Osmosis, and Atom, and now Hodla fetched. Now the RPC worked. Now we fetched. Sorry. Okay. Uh, Now we fetched all of the balances that I have on these chains, and for example, I want to move say 0.3 Osmo, all of the desktop Comdex I have on Osmosis chain, and let's say 0.1 of Atom, right? So this is what we call bulk liquidity mover. So here I'm just gonna be I click next, and now Hodla calculates how much liquidity I will have in Comdex in the end. So if I swap this amount of Osmo, I will get around 6 Comdex. Okay, well that's fine for me. So now I just start transferring. But now what Hodla does, it forms the first step. It forms the native transaction, the IBC transfer from Atom to Osmosis chain to perform the swap. So I just approve. So at this stage, we're moving all of the liquidity that I selected to Osmosis chain to perform the swap. I've signed the transaction. Now we just wait for it to be broadcasted. And it usually doesn't take more than 20 seconds, but it depends on the throughput of the chain. And again, this is all live. I'm actually transferring my Osmo and my Atom, right? Okay, so step one completed. Now we moved our liquidity to Osmosis, and now we're performing the swap on the Osmosis chain, right? So as I said, we want to swap Osmo and Atom that I previously selected, and I just click approve, but you can actually review uh, and decode the hash that's in this transaction. So now we're like yeah, applying the swap on the Osmosis Dex. Now we've swapped all of the tokens, and now we're moving all of the swap tokens from Osmosis Dex using the IBC transfer to the Comdex native chain. Again, I just click approve. I sign this transaction, and I wait for it to be broadcasted. And again, like this doesn't usually take more than 15 seconds. And for me as a user, this saved a lot of time. So instead of me going to using my wallet to do the IBC transfer, then going to Osmosis Dex to do the actual swap, then doing the transfer again to the native chain, Hodla did it all. Okay, so we've moved our liquidity. Let's go stake. So now you see the liquidity increased. Now I almost have 300 Comdex here. And for example, let's take 100 Comdex to post-human. So again, what the user has to do to stake, just connect his wallet, enter the amount of Comdex you want to stake, and press this button. And when I press this button, what Hodla does, it forms the native staking transaction that this address delegates this amount of funds to post-human. Yeah. Let me refresh it again. Sometimes. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Okay. Sometimes you just have to refresh it because we're not having our own PCs. We're relying on our partners. Sometimes it's not done. So again, like now, Hodla gives me a transaction to confirm, and then it says we're delegating 100 Convex to a post-human DVS. And again, I just approve. And now again, we just wait for it to be broadcasted. Okay, we've submitted it, and let's see the transaction in Explorer. So this is MinScan, right? And this is the hash of the transaction that we just done. It was successful 17 seconds ago. This is all mainnet, as I said. And this says that this address, which is my Comdex address, delegated 100 Comdex to posthuman. So we just delegated very easily to this human. And this can work for every validator. And if you're a validator watching this and you want to get this tool on board, just contact me on Telegram or on Twitter. We call Padla.org. This is our Twitter. So please hit us up, and we'll be gladly to like onboard you as a validator and give you your own personal validator page. And in the end, just to show you how it looks from the user side, we've just taken 100 Congo. And as a user, you can connect all of the wallets that we support and all of the chains we support. So here, for example, I not only have Comdex, I have a small out on Phantom, a Cash and Archway. And Hodla fetched all of the staking accounts I had on all of these wallets and gives me an overview of what's my total worth of my total staked assets, and then gives me a breakdown for each chain. So we not only give you an understanding, and not only give you an ability to stake, but we also tell you like what's your unclaimed amount, what's your total earn, what's your total stake worth in the native token, and in the native token as well, and in dollars. And I can go here for Comdex, and here I can claim my rewards. I can stake some more. I can unstake any of my accounts and see the history of my transactions. And lastly, if you don't want to delegate to a specific validator and you don't want to choose, you can go directly to Hodler.org and choose the Comdex chain. And then, we have a feature called default validator, which distributes your stake and the kind of delegates your funds to one of our partner validators. And the algorithm is meant to, this is not implemented yet, but we're going to do, and we want to secure a fund for that from a grant from the Comdex Foundation, which to actually help the chain to become more decentralized, and having an algorithm that will choose a default validator that would give the user the highest rewards, yet keeping the network as decentralized as possible. And so, yeah, this is what we have right now. And thank you for the Comdex Foundation for making this hackathon happen. And yeah, we're really bullish to build a new chain. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Daniel. Really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Next up, we have C Domain. So we have Zach from their team. Zach, you can go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Ismail. First, I wanted to say that we are very pleased to be part of the winners, and also congratulations to Daniel and Arpit for their wonderful products. So we are Comdex Domains. I'm going to be sharing my screen to make a quick demo. Let's go. So Comdex Domain is a name service dedicated to Comdex. Its value stands in our capacity to integrate our product with other protocol on Comdex. We believe name services and domains have some crazy good use cases, and our job is really to try and make them happen on Comdex. So we are on the D app right now. It's the first version of the MVP. It's live on testnet. The first thing you can see is that we are connected with a Kepler wallet, and we have some faucet tokens. And here you have the pricing for domains. By the way, domains pricing are defined by the number of characters, meaning that the more characters you have, the less expensive it gets because of the rarity concept. Here you can see the number of domains available, that were registered on Comdex, and here the domains I own in my wallet. So let's make a quick example. Let's say I want to register a domain for 1 year. Right now, there are only 4 period of time available. But when we'll be live on mainnet, we'll be going through a voting process so that people can decide both pricing for domains. We believe it's the right way to do so. And they can also decide what period of time are available in terms of expiration. So let's do closing ceremony, because this is what we're doing right now. And when I click register, I get a notification on my wallet, which you cannot see, in loading phases, and I should get a successful notification on the D app. Here you can see that I have registered a new domain closing ceremony.cmdx. And now I can just quickly manage it. So I can extend its period of time by the number of years I decide. And in the next update, you're going to be able to manage the metadata fields from the domain, because domains in Web3 are NFTs, meaning that we can do plenty of things with it. The first one is managing metadata fields. Let's say you could add your social media profile in the NFT so that people can recognize you online when looking through the Comdex Explorer or any other Explorer. But also, as it is an NFT, you can send it to one of your friends or your domains manager if you're a business. So yes, we'll be introducing that in the next update. So yes, you have your list of full domains and you are able to manage it. The second feature we have right now is the resolver. I think it's really handy when, for example, you are searching protocols on Comdex and you see, let's say on an NFT marketplace, someone profile, and you see that his name is, I don't know, let's take ismail.cmdx, and you want to know what's its wallet address. So I can just look for closing ceremony, which I just registered, .cmdx, and when I click resolver, it gets me the wallet address of the holder of the domain. This is very handy, even though this is something you can do by yourself in the Explorer. I think it's very handy. So now let's talk about what's coming next for Comdex domain. Our main mission, as I mentioned when starting, is really to integrate this product as much as possible in the ecosystem. I think Daniel and Arpit really showed some cool ideas and products that are now available on Comdex. So guys, I suggest we meet and try to make the best out of Comdex domains and your products. We would love to see our domains integrated in such great products. So yeah, we want to add as much value as possible in our domains so that our users can really experience the power of domains in Web3. As I mentioned, next update is going to be domains management and then mainnet launch when it is available. I just want to say that you should really get involved in our testnet phase because the more you get involved, the more you become eligible for a free domain airdrop when we launch on mainnet. So I'd suggest you go and follow us on Twitter so you can see all the updates. But yes, this is an incentivized testnet where you can get some pretty cool rewards. Thank you, Ismail, for having us. We are very hyped about Comdex. We hope the chain is going to be very interesting for users and people to come and invest in and use different products. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Zach. There's alpha right there, guys. Incentivized testnet for C domains on the Comdex chain. So now that we've concluded with the demos, I'd like to, again, thank everyone for joining in today. Congratulations, Arpit, Daniel, and Zach for being here and, making this happen. Thank you so much for the community as well. And to all the participants, we really appreciate it. I'd like to also say that, this hackathon is just first among the series of initiative that will be taking to onboard, more builders on the Comdex chain and more builders into the Cosmos ecosystem as a whole. So again, the education material, which if you want to start from scratch and, if you want to learn how to build stuff on the Comdex chain is available or would be available to everyone to see and learn. And it is free to access for all. Again, thank you guys for tuning in and joining. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
Cheers
you,
to
everyone.
everyone.
Bye-bye.